Buckle up, everybody, because we're watching another video. Welcome back to the channel, the Reldrick Geo Reaction channel. Today we're going to be watching a future-proof video by, well, I said that backwards. We're watching a video by Future-Proof in regards to the water bottle trend never ends. I will say it loud and proud. I hate the water bottle trend, like those stupid, like thermos cup things that were going along. Like it feels like every few months there's this weird new water bottle that everyone has to go and buy 1,000,001 different colors and variations of. And you know what? I'm just not a big fan. Like it gets to the point where you really don't need it. You really don't need it. It just becomes a consumeristic, like whole landscape, like consumerism. Capitalism just completely takes over the genre, the industry, the water bottle cabal. What am I even saying? I have no idea. Anyways, Yeti cups. That was the last one that I was thinking of. Like the end of or beginning earlier this year, end of last year. I have no idea. Listen, I stay far away from that. I have like mason jars, glass mason jars. I don't even have like a water bottle to carry with me when I go like walking or anything. Yes, I go walking. I know, big fat man. He doesn't go walking because he's big and fat. But guess what I do? Anyways, I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm just rambling at this point. We're gonna watch this video. If you want to watch this video without my commentary, the link to the video will be in the description down below, so make sure to give them a like, give them a subscribe. I actually like this channel quite a bit. I think this is the first video of theirs that I've been reacting to, but I've watched like their entire catalog of videos in the past, so greatly enjoy this channel. So I would appreciate if you went and checked them out. But yeah, we're gonna watch this and see what is up. The bottle water trend ends never. We're gonna get started.
Because there's yet buckle up buckle up everybody, because there's yet another reusable water.
Okay.
Buckle up everybody, because there's yet another.
What is this? That is a strange okay, I understand nose piercings. This nose piercing caught me off guard a little bit. Like the way how thin it was.
Another reusable water bottle that everybody is collecting, and this time it is more colorful than ever. Why is this happening? Good question. Let's get into it.
Okay, so that's one thing. Oh God. Before we get into the video, the subtitles at the bottom, I hate how every creator is putting subtitles now, and it's like in all the shorts, and it's like in a lot of the videos as well. It's there to like constantly stimulate your brain, so it keeps you watching. I hate it though. It's so distracting.
This video is sponsored by Ground News.
Ground News?
Okay, now I know what you're thinking. We've made water bottle videos before.
They have a lot of water bottle videos.
We've done the Stanley, we did Hydro Flask and Yeti, and honestly, we debated about making this video because at the rate that these bottles are coming out, there'll probably be a different one by the time this thing goes live.
There's that Arab water bottle as well.
Owala already hit its peak on Google Trends, just like the Stanley did a while back.
I've never even heard of Owala. Like, what the heck is Owala?
And the problem is, these bottles and the trends that they're a part of, it's just the same stuff in a slightly different form factor or a slightly different color scheme,
all the same,
repackaged all over again. Except I would say confidently that Owala is the worst one yet. So if you watched our other videos on water bottles...
The thing is, it's probably like a TikTok trend, and I don't watch TikTok, so that's probably why I haven't heard of Owala.
And you retained absolutely nothing, or you just aren't familiar at all with the trend that we're talking about, we're gonna give you a little up to speed with our why reusable bottles are kinda stupid actually segment. Over the years, water bottles have become the latest form of fast fashion. This is a whole new accessory category.
That's right, it's fashion.
And the color of bottle that you carry around with you as a standing symbol of what you want people to know about you. That you are outdoorsy, that you are rugged or trendy. This stands in pretty stark contrast to the original purpose of these bottles, which was as a way to replace plastic water bottles. And as many of you know, it is not just a fun little thing anymore. People are scrambling over one another to buy the latest bottle that is popular and collecting these things
crazy.
like they might not.
That's crazy, dude. Like that's like consumerism brain rot. Like that's like I don't know what's the drive? What's the desire to do something like this? But then you know what? I take a step back and I'm like, okay, you could say the same thing about like anybody that collects anything, like somebody that collects like action figures or trading cards. Like, what's the desire to have the collection? So at that point, like at least these are usable in a sense, but even still, just I think the need for excess is bad, right? Now I'm not saying I'm a super big minimalist or anything, but like it gets to the point where you got to realize and think to yourself, do I really need that? Do I really need another one of those things?
Be going out of fashion in a year's time. We honestly didn't think that it could get any crazier after the Stanley tumbler craze. And honestly, Owala is a chill phenomenon in comparison, but this bottle has just leapt off from where Stanley started. And it's just so weird. If you watched our Stanley episode, you know that their tumbler was kind of a random explosion of popularity for a product that wasn't exactly made for its key demographic. A happy mistake, in other words. Owala, on the other hand, was a company born for the sole purpose of selling trendy bottles to people who just...
Let's take a look at those.
Born for the sole...
Cinnamon Crush, Electric Pumpkin, Chatty Rainforest, Extraordinary, Rad Robot, Funky Fuchsia, 80s Sofa, Be Mine.
Purpose of selling trendy bottles
Ships
to people
Ahoy.
who just want whatever is cool right now. And that means it's just the worst version of this trend so far. Their bottles cost between $28 and $40 American, which is on the cheaper side.
It's on the cheaper side, but that's expensive.
Side of the bottle spectrum being just a touch cheaper than the Stanleys of last week, which makes it seem like they're targeting a slightly different demographic. People who are less concerned with the metrics and moral implications of their water bottles. Because as we talked about in our Hydro Flask video, there was a huge phase where these water bottles were competing for the best insulation metrics, the most robust lifetime guarantees, and the least environmental impact per bottle. But things have changed. Owala knows now that a lot of people don't really care about that stuff anymore. So they have focused on novelty features that give more of an ooh factor for shoppers. So we found out that Trove Brands is the parent company for Owala, and their entire portfolio seems to be bottles that are kind of trendy in some kind of way. All their bottles have some sort of cool, noticeable design element that sets them apart from a standard bottle. They have the shaker bottle, which is for gym people, and it has that little shaker ball thing inside. Whiskware, which is like a stackable bottle for kids. And then they have Owala, which as far as I can tell is just the black and white version of the Owala lineup.
Never heard of it.
The Owala and the Owala lineup, beyond having almost exactly the same name, seem to be defined by the same patented technology, which they call free sip, which is basically a straw and an open mouthpiece hole at the same time. This is so that you can sip if you want, but you can also guzzle. And this is actually the word that they used on their website.
Guzzling. A water bottle must be something special to merit a hashtag Owala, that's been viewed 272 million times on TikTok. Of course, it all comes down to TikTok. Not to be mentioned a resale value of roughly $400 for limited editions. Who would spend $400 on a water bottle? The Owala Free Sip is leak-proof and offers two drinking methods, a straw and a large opening for guzzling that conforms to the shape of the user's mouth. The user must spend $400 on our limited edition guzzling Free Sip Owala Fuchsia Ferocious Berry water bottle.
Website. This, and the fact that they come in a whole bunch of different colors, seems to be the entirety of their contributions to the water bottle industry. And while it might seem trivial, it actually makes a lot of sense. So if you look at reviews for these things online, you'll find that one of the most common things that are mentioned is the colors that you can get your bottle in. Colorful designs is not a new strategy for the water bottle world, of course, but Owala has just taken it to a whole other level. Hydro Flask definitely popularized the super colorful bottles, and Stanley was famous for their limited release that had people storming Targets across the US, but Owala has built their entire brand strategy around what they call Colorways and the next look that they have yet to release. As of recording this video, they're pushing their subdued hues, which is in contrast to their more eccentric, colorful lineups that they are known for. But listen, this is way more than just a couple of cool color combos. They have dozens of color options for each bottle and new hues coming out literally all the time. They have a color drop tab on their website where you can be notified when a color is newly available. A lot of these drops are seasonal, like this Halloween themed bottle, or released in collaboration with some other brand, in this case, Dutch Bros. For some reason.
Dutch Bros?
They've also done limited releases
with
with Disney and Marvel and a bunch of others just to get people to buy their bottle again and again and again. The desire for new Owala colors has people swapping out lids in stores because the actual product doesn't do exactly what they want it to do. Coincidentally, Owala has decided to put their reusable water bottles into single-use plastic bags specifically to stop this trend from getting further out of control. This just seems like classic scarcity marketing, right? But Owala's whole brand image is centered around these colors. And if you think about it, there's actually a pretty obvious reason why. It costs money to improve a design or add a feature. It costs even more money to release a new bottle or product, but it costs basically nothing to release the same bottle in an infinite number of colors. It's kind of the only way to sell water bottles after somebody has already bought one from you. But listen, a couple of cool colors is not enough to get people to buy multiple bottles from you if the bottles themselves just suck, right?
Right?
Apparently not. It turns out that these bottles also suck. The free sip straw technology is kind of a cool feature, sure, but it sadly means that the Owalas are very difficult to clean. And
I was gonna say, like, there's bound to be tons of like mold issues, right? You have an inbuilt straw. How am I supposed to clean this thing when it's like soaked into the rubber? I've been trying to fix this for months. I feel gross, but my water never tastes bad, and I cleaned my water. Oh my God, that's gross. Oh God, no.
Apparently get moldy very easily. Although, if you're the kind of person who is buying a water bottle impulsively because they released a color that you like, this may be user error. But this is just one example. As we have mentioned, these bottles come in a variety of.
I guess to get rid of you like do like a vinegar soak maybe. I don't even know.
Really cool colors. It's kind of the whole point of these things. But the problem is that you see every single scrape.
Oh God, what is that? Me okay? Again, 30 minutes after absolutely sobbing because I dropped my emotional support water bottle on the floor, and he got a teeny dent in the side. This has got to be satire. This has to be satire. It has to be. Emotional support water bottle.
Scuff that gets on them.
Such a disappointment. I bought a 24-ounce Owala bottle a couple days ago. I've had it for 3 days. It's incredibly top heavy. When you slide it on into a backpack, it falls out. I'm a college student who needs it to slide into a backpack side holder for bottles. It fell once within 3 days and has 2 dents and multiple scratches. After reaching out to the contact team, they told me they can't do anything. What? It's still a usable product. Like, what do you expect them to do? Give you a free water bottle?
And listen, I've had this Clean Canteen bottle for 3 years now, and I have not been kind to it. And yeah, look, there's a couple of dents. It's held up
that's to be expected.
Remarkably well for 3 years of abuse. Also, if you want to get yourself a make coffee at home sticker or a Costco whole wallet sticker, you can buy those. from us through the link down in the description. But there is a bigger issue here that makes me think that Owala bottles might be legitimately badly made. One reoccurring issue with the Owalas is that the bottom of the bottles dent. So what do? They don't reinforce the bottom or redesign the bottle to prevent this issue. They turn a negative for the consumer into a positive for their bottom line, and it's brilliant. Owala is out here.
Oh my God. You have got to be shitting me. A bottle boot for $9 USD. Basically, I'm like a phone case for your water bottle. I absorb any damage that comes its way, and I look pretty good doing it. If I do say so myself. Bottle not included, fits free sip stainless steel bottles.
Here selling bottle bottom booties that go on the end of your bottle to protect them. These little bottle boots, which are not included with the bottle of course, prevent any potential damage from you placing it down too hard. And to be clear, this might not have even been their idea because Hydro Flask is in on the booty.
If you're at the point where you're buying like rubber for your water bottle so it doesn't get damaged, bottle boots. If you're at the point in your life where you're buying bottle boots, maybe you need to take a step back and like really have a hard think about like what your priorities in life are.
Train too, which sounds weird. Thankfully for Owala owners, and perhaps predictably, these bottle boots come in a variety of colors so that you can buy multiple of them to add extra personality and individuality to your bottle. And when
those things are gonna get dirty too, though. That's the thing. Like you're gonna get a bunch of like water seepage in, or you're like, I know these people like make these like super weird water mixes with like a bunch of syrups and stuff. That's gonna seep in there, and it's gonna get all moldy and gross.
You look at the trajectory of the water bottle phenomenon, it's honestly sad to see how it's devolved. These were functional bottles that made our impact on the planet smaller and made drinking water on the go more enjoyable. And today, we're stuck.
Exactly, and that's why I prefer like just mason jars to fill up with water. That's what I drink out of. Like I drink out of mason jars at home. Is that weird? Maybe. I don't know. It's convenient, and you know what? I'm reusing a product that I would have, I don't know, thrown away otherwise, right? So I don't know. I think it's fine.
With Owala. But look, I understand that maybe some of you are saying, Levi, this isn't the kind of cutting-edge journalism that the world needs right now. You should be talking about stuff that actually matters. But I think this
matters because it brings to light like a serious issue, and that serious issue is like the environmental factor of somebody buying 50 water bottles. That company's making 50 water bottles, and that company's making 50 different colored booties for that water bottle for that person to purchase, right? So it's just all this is going to end up in the landfill. It's all going to end up in the landfill, and those booties are probably made out of like a rubber or plastic or something. It's okay.
By staying truly informed about the issues that matter the most.
We're talking about Ground News now.
Okay. They're an app and a website that allows you to keep up with all of the latest things that are happening in your favorite categories in one place. We keep working with them because we genuinely love their platform, and we think that you will too. So feel free to check them out at ground.news/futureproof. Let's say instead of learning about some goofy water bottle that was trendy yesterday, you want to see what's actually in the current news situation about water in general. Well, Ground News has got you covered with over 100 stories in the last 3 months on the subject. Each of these stories features multiple articles from all ends of the political spectrum, and you can also tell who they're backed by and what their level of factuality is, which is very important today. One truly amazing feature is their blind spot feed, which shows you what the left and the right are and are not focusing on. Here, you get easy access to the other side's news reality to see the full picture of what's going on. It also means that you won't miss anything if you gravitate to one end of the spectrum or the other. We love ground news because they encourage you to make informed decisions by sharpening your critical thinking skills, which is basically what we do here on this channel. So I encourage you to dive right in by going to ground.news/futureproof, or you can just scan this QR code to get started. You can join for less than $1 a month, or use our link in the description to get 40% off their unlimited access Vantage plan, which is what we use. Thanks again to Ground News for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. So these bottles are the next popular thing. There's people with full-blown collections out here, and I have one more
I guess I'm just a cynical old man at this point.
question that I need to answer before I retire the subject from the channel forever, hopefully. Why? Well,
Why?
here are my final findings. My theory is that the Owala brand was designed to appeal to people who don't identify with the ideological values that the water bottle trend had previously platformed. Water bottles used to be a symbol of your aspirational self. It was a social signal to others that you cared about the planet, that you were healthy, or that you had some money to spend. And don't get me wrong.
That was a $125 water bottle.
There's a lot of problems with that too, but the reality today is that a lot of people just want to be fashionable, and Owala knows that. And so the Owala brand identity just has to be exciting and professional looking, but generic enough to not raise any questions. And their marketing and overall brand vibe, if I can even say that seriously, is just cringy as hell. Their whole website,
New colors, classic vibes. These bottles are oozing with nostalgia.
and Instagram feels like a page created by some kind of AI prompted to create a fun and engaging online
Well,
presence for a
it is
water
probably
bottle
made with
company.
AI.
This line just baffles me. Water bottles designed exclusively for people who drink water. Like, what even is that, dude? They just make a lot of cool sounding proclamations that are just entirely hollow. Like this one. We're a motley crew of dreamers and designers who live by a simple creed. Do more of what you love. Guys, you sell water bottles. Like, what are we talking about? They also have
idea.
this
That's
Time
crazy.
Magazine Best Invention of 2023 award featured throughout their website too, which immediately felt sus. Turns out that they were just one of 200 picks, and when you get to the page on the Times website, there's this disclaimer that Time Magazine will make a commission off of any sales made through the link that's
So they sponsored Time Magazine, and then they use that sponsored bit in Time Magazine to trick people. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
conveniently provided at the bottom of the single paragraph write-up. That feels more like a paid ad than a flex to me. But
Yeah.
it looks good on their website. And this whole thing just feels so sketchy. And it's sad that all a company needs to do nowadays is say that they're obsessed with making products that people absolutely love, and people will buy it.
This is wild,
Hopefully
man.
that is the last water bottle video that we need to make here on this channel. Subscribe if you want to see other videos. If you want to see more water bottle videos, I can't guarantee anything, but I appreciate you being here either way. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.
Absolutely wild. Yeah, I don't. It's pointless. Water bottles, like, what can I say? Waste of money. Waste of money. Like, in this sense, like, if you want a water bottle, get a nice, good water bottle that'll last a long time. Nothing that it doesn't need to be flamboyant. It doesn't need to be like a set piece for your outfit, right? I don't know. Comment time. Comments time. Let's read some comments. Oh, it's the water bottle guy. My mom bought me one of these a few months ago. And it decided to self-destruct while I was in college lecture. I pressed the button to open it, and it immediately flew off and hit me in the face. It was the second time I used it. Wow. I got a single Owala water bottle in early 2021 as my only Water bottle because it was on sale at the time. I didn't even look into water bottles at the time. It's solid white. I just became a professor, and it's weird seeing my students carrying around this thing as a fashion trend when I just wanted an insulated container to hold cold water by my bedside and to carry around. I'll do my part and make them cringe while holding one. Okay. Can't wait to buy another water bottle. I'm gonna save the planet. As someone who works in the woods and carries a handful of insulated bottles, knockoff thermoflask from Costco, for my everyday water, they're just a utilitarian part of my work kit, not a collector's item or an expression of my image. The whole endless series of trends is just so difficult for me to comprehend. It's corporatism, corpo like pushed TikTok trends. That's all that this is, and silly people fall for it. Bought my Owala bank in July of last year before the trend. It has become my everyday water bottle. I love the versatility of having both the straw and spout in one cap, and it's overall a nice water bottle for me. I think the problem with the brands is always comes back to people buying just to buy instead of buying one and using it all the time. I don't think I ever gave money for a water bottle as an IT employee. I got a bunch of them every single company I worked for or every conference I attend, along with infinite t-shirts and notepads. Even with getting rid of the less quality ones, I still have a lifetime supply somewhere in the cupboards. We are slowly becoming video game avatars. Gluttonous. Oh, that's the word I was thinking of earlier. Gluttony. These people are ravenous. They're gluttonous for it. Gluttonous for customization while unaware of the consequences of consumption. Ironically, most people over the age of like 15 would find a dented bottle covered in stickers way cooler than some pristine $40 bottle that matches someone's outfit or whatever. Yeah, definitely. My girlfriend had one of these, and while I can't really argue with your points, mine does have a dent at the bottom, and you got to disassemble them to clean them properly. I have to admit that their straw gimmick is nice, not because I ever use it to guzzle, but because you can refill it without taking off the lid. An ironically kind of great feature as far as making convenience important to any already conveniently product category. There's a New York Post article. My water bottle landed me in the ER about a girl who got sick from mold, which was growing underneath the silicone mouthpiece. Gross. From her Owala. She cleaned it and it didn't know that the piece came off, so she never had the chance to actually deep clean it. I don't get the American fixation with water bottles. Here in Germany, I have never noticed this. A lot of people have one, but that's it, just one. Uh, I I I think the dents and scuffs are what add character to my 2009 clean canteen. I wish one of these trends would feature a all metal, no plastic water bottle, including the cap. I loathe how almost every insulated metal water bottle still has a plastic cap. The plastic always chips off into whatever drink sooner or later due to the wear and tear. True. This is nothing new. Before Stanley and Yeti and this, there was the cup brand called Tervis. Now that is installed. I never heard of Tervis. This goes on. There will be more water bottles than water itself. Oh gosh, when I was in Europe, you could easily tell who was from the States with their backpacks and 2 to 3 water bottles in tow. It was so cringe. How the fuck are people getting the money to buy a shelf of water bottles? Exactly, especially when they're like $40 a pop. That's crazy. It stuns me that so many people don't seem to understand that they can just turn every single-use water bottle into a reusable water bottle, just refilling it, and for free. I mean, yeah, true. That's what I do with my these mason jars that I get. But I will say, like plastic seepage on the reusable or on the one-time use water bottles is an issue. Like you don't want to put anything that wildly varies with the temperature, like anything too hot or too cold, because then you get like the chemical plastic stuff inside your body. Not that we already don't have plastic in our body, but still. 5 stickers for $25, and they have the guts to make 4 separate videos about water bottles. We need a future-proof video on future-proof merchandise. Those prices are insane. Lamau. Every YouTuber merchandise is insane. Okay. All right. This is my favorite water bottle channel. Keep up the great work. The link to this video will be in the description down below, so make sure to go and check it out. And with that, I am out of here. Take care. Goodbye.